Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Once again, this is your man Roy coming at you with a Marvel Contest of Champions video. Now, today in this video, we are going to look at things slightly different to our normal uncollected run for the monthly event quest. I'm actually going to do some editing in this video, believe it or not, because I think that the previous videos have taken so long and that the pathways are kind of self-explanatory. Normally, what people are wanting to see is how do we defeat the boss, of that particular path that we're on. So we're going to run through. You'll see the champions that I bring into the start of the path. I will take a path that is suitable, because in the Uncollected one you also have that path with no local nodes. So it's just a clear run through without any additional benefit straight to the boss, and I'll give my hints and tips on champions that I think will counter the boss, and you'll see the boss fight in action, and then we'll skip to the next one. So hopefully we should be able to do this in one video this time, as opposed to separating over two and you've seen all the intermediate fights. So let's go launch straight into this, and Future Shock into Uncollected, and the first enemy is Wolverine. Now Wolverine has a few annoying combinations. So first is that all abilities trigger 200% more often, so 3 times more likely to trigger, like say, regeneration and so on and so forth. So it's going to be constantly regenning, which is then why his healing abilities can't be reversed, because it would just be so easy to bring in a heal reversal champion, hit into him a few times, get a few regens on there, and bang, dead. So that's where we're up against with this one. We can stop his healing, but we can't reverse it. Now also, whichever champion has more unique buffs gains 12% of a bar of power every second. So if he has more buffs than you, he's going to be also utilising these regens, pretty constantly. Excuse me. Then he is just going to be gaining power all the time. We do have combat deja vu unblockable, so when the attacker lands the same type of basic attack twice in a row, so that's medium, light, or I think heavy comes into it as well, the defender gains an unblockable buff for 6 seconds. So, excuse me, he's going to be pretty hard to stop at that point. So I would suggest, if you aren't kind of used to using that node, I would bring in a bleed immune champ, just because again his bleed abilities are going to be triggering 200% more often as well. So if you get hit and you're bleed immune, yeah, you're kind of dead. And again, trying to counter the Mystic Champion, so when an attacker attempts to remove a buff with a nullified fate or stagger, the chances of those future effects reduced by 20%. So, bit of a challenge. So the kind of lineup that I would suggest utilising one of these champions I've got in there. Corvus Glaive, just because on the path, without any local nodes. So we have a Hulkbuster for the Avenger Tech bonus, Medusa for the Auto Block bonus, and a Cyclops for the Mutant bonus. So by the time we got up there, also Corvus is a really good counter for Stack and Hand Spider-Man? Come on. Iron Man Infinity War. Really good counter for that. So that would give us 4 critical charges to utilise against Wolverine. And although he's going to be regenerating quite a lot, the normal Corvus rotation is medium, light, medium. Block, medium, light, medium into special attack. So it helps counter combat deja vu as well. So that would be one of my suggestions if you don't have any champion that's able to kind of control the healing. Then on top of that, we've got Void. Obviously build up the charges. We're not going to reverse the healing, but we can certainly stop it. Warlock is just a godsend for this one. With bleed immune. If he is power gaining all the time or healing, he's going to get a power drain. So he's just a fantastic champion to bring into the fight, and he's unwanted infected heal lot as well. Archangel as well with Neurotoxin. Again, really good option there. And Black Widow Clairvoyant, you know, if you get up to special 2 with the buff immunity, you've also got a couple of hits anyway, you know, that you can nullify any regen that goes on. But then after that, he's not able to actually activate any regeneration at all, so he's fair game at that point. So that's the overview. That's the plan of action certainly for this path. So we'll see you on the other side of this for the actual fight. Okay, so we have arrived at the Wolverine boss fight, relatively unscathed. We did make a little bit of a misjudgment and error against Medusa because she wasn't awakened. She's not going to generate her Furies to op block, but Colossus has got 3 charges. So I think we're going to... Who are we going to start off with trying? Yeah, let's give Void a little run. So again, it's going to take a bit of time to rank this fight up, just because we're going to need to get those charges on the go. No. Oh, it looks like dash back also counts towards the unblockable attack. That sounds about right. Just need to get to a point where... Right, so Petrify is cancelled out now. So he's not going to gain... How did he go unstoppable there? Oh, come on. And again, the good thing with Void is that he's going to take that constant damage from the debuffs as well. So Void works really well. You just need to be careful about those moves that you're doing. You know, the double, you know, dashing forward and striking. I think that was where I'd went wrong in that one. But certainly, you know, not too bad a fight if you can control that. Void works really well once he gets the Petrify on. I was lucky with the RNG there, in terms of actually getting that applied, you know, fairly early on in the 6 debuffs. So Warlock again should be fine. You need to do a couple of well-timed blocks to kind of ramp up the infections, but once you're in that, you're kind of good to go. Certainly all the champions we mentioned before should have a really good run at it, but if any heal block, again, Magneto, you know, with his ability reduction, you know, will help ease some of that that ability accuracy increase from the node, and again the rotation, you know, you can play it really well. So Wolverine down, so we shall move on to the next one now. I also haven't changed the champions yet. I haven't had a chance to look at this one yet, so we can use this new button to find the boss, and it's Venom Pool. Okay, so Venom Pool's also had his buff recently. So we've got 100% attack, 60% combat power, well below 2 bars of power, so he's going to be throwing a lot of special 2s. After activating a special attack, defender becomes unstoppable and has 25% to evade incoming attacks for 7 seconds. Again, I've never really understood that node. I know that you can remove unstoppable, but if somebody's unstoppable, you're highly unlikely to be striking into them, so the evade's a bit overkill. But I know likes Cap America Infinity War, you know, can remove the unstoppable, maybe slowed by She-Hulk or whatever the case may be, so the evade would still be there. I get that, but it just seems overkill, man. Defender activates a special attack to gain a stun immunity buff for 4 seconds plus 2 seconds for each of the defender's unique buffs. Okay, so again, because he's going to be generating a lot of these buffs, he's going to gain stun immunity, so a little bit of a problem. And while fighting a mystic attacker every 10 seconds on a timer, the defender becomes immune to nullify fatal stagger, and the timer's duration is paused for 2 seconds each time the attacker nullifies a buff. So again, kind of minimising the usefulness of Clairvoyant or Doctor Doom or so and so forth. I mean, there's nothing overkill there. Again, I think She-Hulk would be a really good shout for this, actually. to kind of combat the Unstoppable and evade. Stealth Suit Spider-Man as well, with his pre-fight ability. Yeah, I think we'll utilise those two in the next fight, and a couple of our champions just to get us through the path. So yeah, watch this space, and we'll see another side of this for boss battle number 2. Alright folks, so we are now at boss number 2, the Venom Pool boss. So the other champions brought in just for a little bit of a let's use them and see how they are was Hawkeye, the recently buffed Gamora, and Ultron. Done not too bad, but now we will see how we fare against Venom Pool. So I think we're going to bring in She-Hulk for this one, just because she can get that slow applied, straight off the bat, and then we can try and work up to a special 2 to get the Petrify or Enervate on. So let's see how we get on with this. No natural class advantage, so having the slow on should mean, yes, he's got stun immunity now, so unfortunately it means that we can't stun on the back of, so it's going to be, oh there we go, got the slow on now. Nice, hit us again, come on. I actually haven't fought Venom Pool since his buff, so it's a little bit. See how we fare kind of scenario here. Oh, it sounds like we're doing a slow one. Very slow now. There we go. Not the prettiest of fights, but yeah, just making sure that we get that slow on. It's probably going to be easier using Stealth Suit Spider-Man because you just need to do a combo ender as opposed to wait for a heavy attack. So you can just bait out heavies and then go in with your combo to get that slow applied, and then up to the special 2 if you can, with charges left, means that you get a long duration slow. So Stealth Suit Spider-Man, if you have him, probably works a lot better. Spider-Gwen would work pretty well as well, I would imagine. She-Hulk works also there. Captain America Infinity War, certainly useful for getting rid of the Unstoppable, but you have the evade behind it. So yeah, not too bad. We managed to save face there a little bit, I think. So let's move on to the next one. So chapter's completed. Let's move on to chapter 2. So we'll have one of the new champions either Sentinel or Kitty Pryde in this chapter. So we've got Kitty Pryde in this one. So I know that she phases a lot. I haven't really had much chance to look through her other abilities, but we'll have a look at that, I think, before the fight. But increased attack and health. Each time the defender gains prowess, they also gain non-stacking passive impact charge. 40% block penetration. So yeah, ideally we don't want to be hit while blocking. When the attacker ends combo with the same attack that ended the previous combo, it's guaranteed critical attack. But then when the defender is knocked down, the critical resistance is increased. And if the defender is not struck within 6 seconds, the attacker receives an incinerate. So again, if we're not confident about fighting this champion, I'd be encouraging bringing in an incinerate immune champion. Block penetration. I mean, not having really seen much of Kitty Pryde's gameplay or other abilities, which we'll have a look at when we get to the fight, but I think I'm inclined to bring in Colossus for this one, just to give us incinerate protection. The more armour up that we've got, kind of bypass the block penetration slightly. So yeah, we'll have a play with a few champions, I think, for this one. I don't think it's as bad until we see what the actual abilities of Kitty Pryde are. So we'll bring in a couple of options for us to try and see how we get on. So yeah, let's see how it pans out. Okay, so we are at boss number 3 in this monthly event quest path run, and we're going up against Kitty Pryde. So the other team, the team have kind of pulled together a bit of an odd one. So we've got Colossus for the Incinerate immune, but I also want to play about with Star-Lord, because I know that I've always loved Star-Lord, just in terms of his damage ramp up. He's not particularly reliant on any form of synergies or damage over time debuffs. He does need to be awakened, really take the most out of him, which we are. Also Bloodstone, just I haven't really used her all that much, pulled her from a 6-star crystal a wee while back. And then the interesting combination of Red Guardian and Abomination, because it gives us crazy poison damage. It's 50% per hit, 50% chance per hit from Abomination to inflict poison. And Red Guardian also gives us a synergy with Colossus. When we're launching any special attack, we get an unstoppable for 1.2 seconds after the special ends. So just a little bit of a safety net there really, but I want to kind of have a look and see what we're up against in terms of abilities, to see if we made a massive error in judgment or what we're up against. So immune to Incinerate, 1 prowess every time champion lands or inflicts a stun, 2 against guaranteed crits or passive stuns, gain 2 prowess when intercepting. Okay, phasing. Dashing forward with 3 more prowess triggers phasing for the duration of the dash plus 1.2 seconds after, giving the opponent a 100% chance to miss. This is paused during Kitty special attacks. 3,900 critical rating, wow. Becomes stun immune, that's not going to be helpful for Colossus. And take 80% reduced damage. We've got the robot. Okay. Right, so we're going to have to kind of master the reparry, I think, against this lady. Because she's going to be stun immune after her phasing period ends as well. So I want to try Abomination and see how we go. Yeah, poison's already starting to kind of trickle down her energy. That is insane. Oh, that is quite a long duration for the phase, isn't it? Oh. And we take damage after it as well, don't we? For every miss. Okay, that wasn't a bad run by Abomination though. Those poisons were doing the work. So let's try Elsa. Let's see how we got on with the busted. She can now go phase because she's got more than 3 prowess. I'm going to throw that, still increase damage. Kind of tough one. We'll get her done with. Colossus 1 heavy attack, hopefully should kill this one off. Yep, there we go. So all in all, not a bad fight. I think just once you get to the phasing, because during the special attacks the phasing's paused, she's still going to come out the other side with a duration attached to that, and she's got a massive increase in critical rating. So not the easiest fight, but not the most difficult we've seen out there either. You know, again, have some champions in there, that you can bring in after the pool. So let's have a look at boss number 4, who I believe is Proxima Midnight. So combo goes up by 1 every second. If the attacker performs and intercepts, time pause 10 seconds. Okay. Combo shield's not reset. Defenders under the effect of Unstoppable become stun immune. Every 15 seconds, the defender gains an Unstoppable buff for 5 seconds. The duration of this buff is reduced by 0.5 seconds for each prowess buff or passive the attacker has. So you could reduce that by bringing in Magneto and getting some prowess up there. Every time defenders knocked down, they gain a cruelty buff. Okay, so again Unstoppable. I mean, again. Again, it's a She-Hulk. It's a She-Hulk heavy attack. Yeah, I think we'll do the same as we did for boss number 2. I think we'll bring in a couple more champions for the path. So yeah, we'll see the other side of this and see how we get on. Okay, so boss number 4, Proxima Midnight. So as we said, we are going to try and let She-Hulk tackle this one all by herself. So just as a reminder, she has increased health and attack. Combo goes up by 1. It doesn't get reset after being struck. When she gets knocked down, she gets critical damage rating for 10 seconds. We don't have any mystic attackers to reduce nullify, fate seal or stagger, but defenders under the effect of Unstoppable become stun immune, and every 15 seconds they gain 1. So we're going to try and see if we can maintain a persistent slow on Proxima Midnight and see if She-Hulk can just do the business. So first slow goes on, she gets the cruelty buff, but that's fine. I'm sure we parried that, but never mind. We're not discussing parry issues in this forum. Now, versions have fought Proxima Midnight, so just making sure you get the timing for dodging the specials. Yeah. I knew we'd go wrong somewhere. I mistimed that special 1 dodge every time. Right, let's go for a bit of stealth suit then. So we'll apply to get to special 1 if possible. I should get the bonus as I intercepted her. I'll just get hit by it this time as opposed to getting slapped by it. If he comes in clutch, that damage we're doing though is going to more than make up for it. We've got a slow on there, but she's dead. She's down. Yeah, stealth suit's definitely the way to go there. Just being able to keep those on. It's possible with She-Hulk if you're better at dodging or blocking special attacks from Proxima Midnight than myself, then you shouldn't really find that fight any much of an issue. But really anyone that can nullify Unstoppable or apply slow should be pretty good. Again, Cold Snap. Well, no, it only does evade, doesn't it? So, nah, it wouldn't be as applicable. But we got them down anyway. So we are now on to Chapter 3, quest number 1, and quest number 5 in the overall act. Okay, so who have we got? This will be 1 of 4 Sentinels. Oh, Domino. Okay, so increase attack and health, intercept an opponent's dash attack with a basic attack, grants the attacker passive fury, And then the defender is not down again, evade charge. Whenever the defender is suffering from a shock or incinerate, they also suffer a 200% reduction in their evade and auto block. So, shock champions or incinerate champions. We need to rely on heavy attacks as well. So Sunspot. Sunspot would work. Going to bring in Sunspot and Guardian, I think. Guardian's not going to be the best because we're going to rely on heavy attacks to remove the dispersal charge, which is going to limit the number of charges he has available. But yeah, Sunspot should do the work. Also, Black Widow Deadly Origin? Doom for the shocks? Yeah, let's try that. Let's see how we got on with a kind of wee mixed bag of possibilities. And let's see if we can take this domino down. Okay, boss number 5. Actually, when I was playing through that path, I realised a really good thing about Guardian's abilities is that if he suffers any form of ability reduction, then he applies a shock to the opponent. So because Domino's going to be reducing our ability accuracy, she'll have that shock applied to her constantly, which will then reduce their evade and auto block ability accuracy by 200%, so they shouldn't be evading us at all. So yeah, I'm curious to see what Guardian can do. But we do have Black Widow Deadly Origin for some shock damage as well. My Doom suffered a small fate at the hands of Korg. And also Archangel, because again he is immune to ability accuracy reduction, so we should be able to be more effective against her. So I'm gonna try Guardian and just see how we get on. Because again, Guardian can stun non-contact attacks. But again, yeah, she's got that permanent shock damage on, and the ability that Guardian has to deal shock damage instead of critical damage is just brilliant. I need to block that with critical failure on. So, oh no, come on, I parried that. Need to get a heavy attack in just to remove those charges. Yeah, Guardian is actually quite good for this fight. We're not going to be doing much damage. We need to get a heavy attack now. That shock damage is still chipping away, and she's down. That actually worked a lot better. I forgot about the shock with the ability accuracy reduction, so it meant that she wasn't evading any attacks even when she was lucky. So yeah, Guardian, Awakened Guardian is a little bit better just because you have increased resistances, so he becomes a little bit more tanky. And I was using a 6-star rank 3 one there, but a 5-star rank 4 would certainly, have a good time in that fight there as well. So that's fight number 5 down. We are on to Sentinel. Nimrod as the last boss of the quest. We'll take that, thank you very much. And where is this small machine? Because he's a bit smaller than normal Sentinels. Now, I will again, we'll need to have a look at his abilities when we go in, because I haven't had a much of a chance to read over them. But we've also got dodged hit during special attack, grants attack and a passive prowess. Okay, each real-time block grants attack a true damage passive. And while the attacker has true damage or true strike effect, they have a 100% perfect block chance on well-timed blocks. Okay. When the defenders finish their special attack, they get an indefinite armor up buff. That's going to be good. Defender gains 25% for each buff on them. Figures. And whenever a defender updates a special attack, heal block and armor break debuff. So the nodes themselves aren't too bad, but we'll need to see how that's impacted by Nimrod's abilities. So let's move on across and see what we're up against. Final boss. We are there. So we are now at boss number 6 of the monthly event quest. We're up against Nimrod. So the kind of options that we've brought into this fight, so we've got Corvus Glaive, who I think has 3 charges. We've got Venom the Duck ranked up a bit as well. I think with 2 of each of the regeneration, fury and power gain buffs. The thinking behind Venom the Duck is that, from what I know, Nimrod is going to be gaining a lot of armor up. So if we can get Venom the Duck up to special 2, and if we get some good hits on that special 2 with the toxic armor, I'm expecting to see some pretty good numbers. That's the hope anyway. We can wait and see. We've got Guardian, just for tankiness, high special attack damage. See how he does as well. And we have the Robot Killer Medusa in the ranks as well. We've also got Doom on standby should things go severely pear-shaped. So I think we're just going to go into this and I'm just going to go with Venom the Duck. I just want to see how good Venom the Duck will be with the armor, with the toxic armor node. I think if it works the way I think it should work, it's going to be fantastic. So, and of course we're going to get the degen as well rather than bleed. And the special locked. Let's launch that. Oh, our I don't know how I avoided that. That's lucky. Oh. That second hit of the special 2 was certainly, some really, really good damage. And the degen as well, rather than bleed, just managed to get him down. So I think we're just going to come in with Corvus and finish this off. But I think it's probably one of the easiest fights for a monthly event quest. I mean, that's pretty easy. I mean, I know it's easy for me saying using the level of champions, but you've got 5 champions in the roster. Yeah, I wasn't just quite expecting it to be just that level. So yeah, hopefully you found it useful, guys. This style of videoing as well for the monthly event quest, just showing you the bosses going through. If you did like the video, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you have any challenges with any of the paths when you're going for 100%. Drop a note in the comments and we'll give you some hints and tips. I'll be looking to do the 100% exploration later on this evening, so I'll be on hand to answer any questions you've got. And if you want to see more videos like this on the channel, then make sure and hit the subscribe button so you know when they're going live, and ring that notification bell. So that's it for this month's event quest, Uncollected Path Completion. Hopefully you found it useful, but until next time guys, take care, all the best, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.